Guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's tutorial you're going to be learning how to make this beautiful wrap top. So before we go over to that, let me introduce myself. In case you're coming here for the very first time, you're welcome. I am a Nigerian YouTuber based in Abuja, and my name is Chinwendu. So I made this top using 1.5 yards of fabric, and I combined it using a plain chiffon fabric. As you can see, it actually came out very beautiful and elegant. If this is what you like to learn, please stay tuned and we will be right back. This wrap top is not going to be having a zip at the back, so there is no need inserting your zipper allowance. I am going to start creating the back pattern first, and that is the trick when it comes to cutting out a wrap top. I have my starting line here, which will serve as the shoulder line, and from there you are going to have to start inputting your shoulder to bust point, shoulder to waistline, and then shoulder to the length of my top. The length is going to be 20 inches, and from this 17 inches to the 20 inches we'll be using that as our band. All right, so from the bust point you're going to have to come up by 2 inches, and that would be the chest line. After this, go ahead to the starting line and insert your shoulder measurement. Divide your shoulder by 2 inches and then input what you have there, and then you connect this line to the chest line. Now the shape of the neck for the wrap top is usually a round neckline at the back, and to the front it's usually a V neckline. All right, so I'm going to make use of 3 inches width and then 1.5 inches depth for the back neck. So once you are done with this, go ahead and use your straight ruler, connect the lines, and using your curve ruler curve out your neck shape. Okay, once you are done with that, go ahead and connect your chest line and then label your markings. So I have the chest line, the bust point, waistline, and length of my top. Now from the shoulder line, come down by 1 inch and connect that into the neck line. Once you are done with that, go ahead and start inputting your horizontal measurements. Okay, divide your bust measurement by, that is the circumference of your bust, by 4 inches, and then input what you have. Do the same thing to the waist and then down to the length of your top. Okay, so I divided what I have on my waist circumference by 4 inches and then input what I have there, and I did the same thing towards the length of my top. And then from there you are going to have to connect your lines. Once you are done with that, divide what you have in between the chest line and the slope by 2. Whatever you have there, mark it out and then go in by half an inch. The half an inch that you went in is going to serve as the front armhole, but for this one we are creating just the back pattern, so we are not going to connect our armhole into that. We are going to have to connect that once we are done creating the back pattern. So once you are done with that, go ahead and input your seam allowance, and from there connect your lines. And yes, we are done with the creating of the back pattern. So now go ahead and input ½ inch. That will be for your shoulder seam allowance. And once you are done with that, you are going to have to cut out your pattern. Now that you have finished cutting this out, you are going to go on and cut out your band. All right, so this is the back band, and once I want to cut on fabric, I'm going to cut it on fold. Now to cut out our front pattern, we are going to have to bring a fresh pattern paper and we start inputting all our measurements right there. But this is going to be very easy from here, okay? So you have to pay good attention to details right here. Now you are going to start by marking out your starting line once again, and from there you are going to come in by, from the fold you are going to come in by 5 inches. You can use 6 inches. It depends on how covered you want your wrap top, the way you want it to overlap on each other. Okay, that is actually this 5 inches that I marked out. All right, so from there we have to bring in our back pattern. So whatever we are doing is going to start from this 5 inch that we have already marked out from the fold. Okay, so place that pattern paper. You can use your pins to hold it down. Once you are done pinning them down, go ahead and rule out your lines, as you can see me doing like this. And from there you are going to have to create your neckline, the depth of your neckline. And to me, I want to make use of 7 inches because I don't want any of my cleavage exposing. If you need your cleavage to expose, you can go down towards the bust point. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rule this line all the way to the fold. Once you are done with that, you go ahead and use a broken line to trace out the back pattern. Okay, remember that the back pattern is placed on the fresh pattern paper for the front, so go ahead and trace out what you have there. And once you are done with that, go ahead and mark out from the waistline down to 3 inches. That would serve as your band. Okay, remember that we have already cut out the band of the back pattern, so we are going to replace that 3 inches band to create band for our front. Once you are done with this, you are going to have to remove the back pattern, and this is what we have. Go ahead and connect all these lines. This is to make the lines very visible enough. Now once you are done with that, the next step is to trace out the front armhole curve. So you are going to go ahead from the shoulder slope, mark down 3 inches and then go in by half an inch. Then use your straight ruler to connect to the slope, and then with the curve ruler connect to the armhole curve, and that would serve as our front armhole. Now the next step is to mark in the neckline so that we'll be able to connect to the fold. Okay, as you can see me doing like this. So go ahead and connect from the shoulder to your neck depth and then down to the fold. And once you are done with that, you're going to go ahead and cut out your band. Okay, so you label this front band. Remember that we also have the back band, and then go ahead and cut out your pattern for the front. Okay, so after we cut this out, you go ahead and notch the 5 inches that you marked out. Okay, and that is where you are going to place your overlap. Okay, so once you want to cut this on fabric, you are going to have to put on fold, and once you cut this out, you are going to have 2 pieces that would overlap each other. Now after I cut this out, remember you are going to have to cut on fold. These are what we have. We have the front, we have the back piece, and we also cut out our band. Now to the back band, you are going to have to fold your fabric into two, and then you cut out. But to the front band, you are going to have to cut in pieces. So once you are done with all of that, you're going to use this bias to turn all the neckline, the front neck and that of the back. So this is what we have for the band. The wideness of the band is 5 inches, 2.5 inches on fold, and then 5 inches when it is not on fold. Okay, and if you look carefully, you would see that after I cut out the band, I went ahead to also fold in half an inch inward. Okay, so and that is how I'm going to join this. Okay, now this is the sleeve. I've actually cut out one part of the sleeve, and I'm going to use the next one. I'm going to bring in now to show you what I did. So this is going to be a puff sleeve, and I cut it on bias. All right, so I folded in a triangular form and then located a straight line starting from the upper part. So what I will do is to locate a straight line. Okay, a straight line that would be able to accommodate my armhole curve, and then I input my cap height and then gradually connected to the straight line that I marked out. So once you are done with that, you are going to have to measure to ensure that you have your round armhole plus 1 inch for seam allowance. Now you are going to the length of the sleeve. You are going to have to rotate as you can see me doing like this. So the length is 24 inches. Make sure that your tape doesn't leave the crown of your sleeve. Okay, so while you rotate, after you have must have rotated this and gotten what you wanted, go ahead and cut your sleeve out. So this was how I was able to achieve my sleeve. Now next step is to go ahead and join my back piece to my front piece. I have finished turning this out. Okay, remember the notch that I made. I'm going to now overlap them together and then join my front and back piece together. After that, I'm going to also join my band. So now this is the shoulder. I've joined the shoulders together and I've also joined my bands together. So I've also finished joining the back band, and I left the front band for me to show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, you can see that I folded half an inch inward, so I'm going to have to turn this over to the right side and top stitch. Now this is the belt. The belt length is actually so long, so make it very long because you're going to have to tie this around your waist. Okay, one can be very long and one can be shorter. All right, so go ahead and sew in your belt to the band. Okay, so this is where I'm going to sew it to my band, and the sleeve also had a cuff. Okay, go ahead and measure your wrist circumference and then cut out your cuff. Once you're done with that, go ahead and sew in using 1 inch. Join your sleeves together and fix it to the main dress. Okay, So now he's showing you what it looks like after I've joined the belts, and then I'm going to show you how to wrap this around your body. Okay, so while joining the sides seam allowance, ensure that you leave um an opening. Okay, so you are going to have to mark from the band 1 inch. Okay, and then you leave an opening right there. That is where you are going to wrap this belt all around your waist from. And now once you are done with that, I'm going to go and join my sleeve, and this is what we have. Okay, you can see that the dress is looking very beautiful and elegant. What I love most about this dress is the combination. Okay, now if you enjoy every bit of this tutorial, please do give this video a thumbs up. I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.